Just announced new ramped-up security following that deadly light rail stabbing 2 weeks ago. It's a huge announcement just dropping in the last 15 minutes. The mayor tonight saying, quote, effective immediately, CAT security personnel will redeploy a stronger presence on Blue Line platforms and will increase fare enforcement. The Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department will also be increasing patrols at key areas across the transit system. You may remember it was just days ago WBTV showed you video from inside a CATS train showing the final moments of a young woman's life before she was brutally attacked, stabbed, and ultimately killed by what appears to be a stranger. That video taken just over 2 weeks ago. Now that Charlotte-based story gaining national attention, the president today speaking out on the horrific situation.
I just give my love and hope to the family of the young woman who was stabbed this morning or last night in Charlotte by a madman, a lunatic. Just got up and started. It's right on the tape. Not really watchable because it's so horrible, but just viciously stabbed. She's just sitting there. So they're evil people. We have to be able to handle that. If we don't handle that, we don't have a country.
And in just the last few hours, the president posted on Truth Social saying, quote, I have seen the horrific video of a beautiful young Ukrainian refugee who came to America to escape the vicious war in Ukraine and was innocently riding the metro in Charlotte, where she was brutally ambushed. He goes on to say her blood is on the hands of the Democrats who refuse to put bad people in jail, including former disgraced governor and wannabe Senator Roy Cooper. Now, regardless of the situation and however you may feel, an innocent woman died on a public train right here in Charlotte. And we've reached out to the former Governor Cooper's office for comment. We're yet to hear back. And tonight, the U.S. Attorney's Office for our area says it's looking into last month's deadly stabbing. U.S. Attorney Russ Ferguson confirms his office is investigating whether federal charges can be brought against DeCarlos Brown. He's the man accused of stabbing and killing that Ukrainian refugee Irina Zarutska. In a statement to WBTV, Ferguson says his goal is to restore confidence in public transportation. Meanwhile, a former Charlotte City Councilman says he warned city leaders about safety concerns on public transit 2 years ago. He wanted police to patrol the CAT system instead of hired security. The city is wrestling with solutions after last month's grisly light rail stabbing. Our Michael Warwick is live in Charlotte's South End this evening at the Scaly Bark station. So, Michael, are riders seeing any changes so far?
Some say they are, some say they aren't, but it's something we wanted to check on, especially after the release of that video Friday. At the platform today, we also ran into a former city councilman who says in the past he questioned whether private security could handle the CAT system. Braxton Winston boards a light rail with a belief sworn police officers are better suited to protect it.
I don't think there's any reason why CMPD officers or MEC sheriffs should not be walking the beat and riding on our public transportation system.
A former city councilman, Winston says 2 years ago he urged the city to reject a private security model for CATs, instead insisting police are better trained to deal with riders experiencing homelessness or mental illness. Winston would not get his way.
It was clear that the public safety response that we're providing was not sufficient.
CATS hired a private security firm with both armed and unarmed guards, requiring 16 and 36 hours of training respectively. We watched them Monday show up on a platform making sure people paid for tickets. It's one of the initiatives promised by CATS after the deadly stabbing of Irina Zarutska.
This is something that I think a lot of people who have been invested or need to take our public transportation system probably have seen coming for quite some time.
Winston says he feared, as a regular rider himself, a tragedy like last month could happen.
This is why we have elected representatives. So I would encourage them to get out in front and again, really make a comprehensive investment in our public transportation system when it comes to safety and security.
Well, as part of its long-term safety strategy, CAT says it wants to develop an approach that makes its CAT security team feel more like a police transit force rather than a traditional security force. So that's something we'll follow. Siobhan?
Michael, thank you. And in just the last 30 minutes, we also got a response from Charlotte Mayor Vi Lyles about safety on the light rail. Can you tell us what she said?
Well, part of that letter, of course, she expresses her sympathy and just mentions how troubling and disturbing this attack was. She also says she wants state leaders to come up with a bipartisan solution that keeps repeat offenders, from what she says, facing consequences and also unable to find mental health help. She also touches on these effective immediately approaches to cat safety, which include increased patrols by both cat security and CMPD, new safety operations that will roll out within the next 2 or 3 weeks, which include bike patrols along the light rail and urban terrain vehicles. As we mentioned in that piece, active recruitment is going on to fill at least 40 positions within the CAT's private security team. And then that mutual aid agreement between CATS and CMPD, that will come up later this month. That would allow CATS security to address incidents that are not on CAT's property if they get that mutual aid agreement through with CMPD. Just some of the security measures that are rolling out here within the next few weeks directly related to that tragic stabbing August 22nd. We're live in Southend. Michael Warwick, WBTV, on your side.
So many people rely on that transit, and this tragedy just rattled us all. Michael, thank you. And you can read Mayor Lau's full statement right now. Just go to WBTV.com or use our free WBTV News app. And we mentioned U.S. Attorney Russ Ferguson just a few moments ago. In a statement today, Ferguson said, quote, "The incident was a tragedy, and we are looking at every way the federal government can bring justice to Irina Zarutska and her loved ones." He goes on to say this act of violence affects the confidence of all those who rely on public transportation to commute to work and go about their daily business, and restoring that confidence is our mission. Governor Josh Stein also speaking out today saying, quote, "I am heartbroken for the family of Irina Zarutska. I am appalled by the footage of her murder. We need more cops on the beat to keep people safe." And North Carolina Attorney General Jeff Jackson today saying, quote, "This was an outrageously heinous and vicious act. Our office will provide any and all support to deliver justice. We will remain steadfast until that justice is achieved." Still much more to come with this story. You can stay with WBTV for continuing coverage. You can find all of the latest information. Just go to our website, WBTV.com. Switching gears now.